Well, I'm back and I'm in my favourite industrial estate location, and I've got something really special today. This. And I'm so ridiculously excited about it. I can't even contain my excitement about it, and there's no reason for it at all. But I want to share it with you. So come over and have a look at this. It's just brilliant. Behold, the XJ6. I love these cars. I've got such a soft spot for these, and I've never owned one. I've always wanted one, specifically an XJR, but the timing's never been right for me. You know, when I was looking for a cheaper car, I certainly didn't have the kind of budget you need to be able to keep one of these on the road, let alone run it as a daily car. And yeah, now I don't just worry so much about the fuel economy. I don't do so many miles, but I'm not prepared to part with any of the toys that I've got, and I certainly don't have room for another car. So when Nigel said to me that he bought this, I have to see it. I have to see the XJ6. Here it is. £1,350. 3.2 litre, I think. Straight six, XJ6, Sovereign, with, and get this, 87,000 miles on the clock. That's it. 87,000. It's all this thing has done. It's a 94, 95M. Haven't actually got the detail, as you can tell, because I'm struggling a little bit. But yeah, 87,000 miles. It's, well, if it's a 95 car, it's 30 years old now, isn't it? And unfortunately for it, it's been a bit battle scarred and abused, certainly in later years. But my word, does it drive well. Underneath, it's really solid. There's a little rust here and there, and sadly I think quite a lot of malicious damage. I'll walk you around it in a minute and show you a bit more of it. The reason I'm so enthusiastic about this particular one is because I think it represents something very, very important in value, right? 1,350 quid, purchased this car. That's really, really cheap. You won't get much for under £1,500, certainly not that works. And this is a proper modern classic car at this age. But the beauty with the modern classic is it's got aircon, powered absolutely everything. It's unbelievably comfortable. It's a very civilised thing to drive. And pretty much anyone can own one. So if you're in a mindset where you're thinking, oh, maybe I should have a classic, I'd really like one, should I do it, shouldn't I? What, £2,000 maybe? By the time it's all done, taxed for a year. You know, there are like great classic insurance policies, modern classic stuff, maybe £2,500, and you could probably have a year's motoring. To me, it's obviously it's a passion of mine, it's a hobby of mine, and I really like this stuff, so I will wax lyrical about it. But if you're thinking, should I try a modern classic? Yes, it's my answer. Absolutely. And as I've said in some of my Range Rover stuff, should you buy one? Yes, you absolutely should. And in exactly the same vein on the other side, no, you shouldn't. Because you're probably getting into some uncomfortable territory. But at this kind of money, it's very, very hard to ignore. That's a thought on modern classics for me, and that's one of the things that I just wanted, a point that I wanted to make about the way my mind works. That's not for everybody, and I fully appreciate that. But the reason I'm doing this right now, when he's owned it literally 3 days, and I do think it is 3 days, the reason I wanted to do this was because inside it is utterly disgusting. It's nasty. It has not been cared for. And I think I'm going to get the pleasure of cleaning it, which doesn't really bother or upset me because it's something I'm kind of into anyway. But he brought it round to me yesterday and I had a little drive of it, and the steering wheel's so sticky, you couldn't let go of it once you'd got hold of it. And so I started to clean it because it was so awful. And he said, well, don't you want to save that for a YouTube video? And I said, I do, but also it's so nasty, I'm going to clean the control surfaces and then we'll stop and we'll film a bit and then we'll try and bring you up to speed on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you around the outside before it's too dark for us to see, and you can see some of the unfortunate condition of this car. And then inside, you can see just how bad that is. And then what we'll do after that, with the magic and miracle of video editing, it will probably be about a minute's worth of work that you'll see. I'm really hopeful that we're going to have something that's transformed, certainly internally. Externally, this is going to require a lot of investment to bring it up to code, so it's probably not going to get done. But it doesn't stop you enjoying it, and that's what's really important to me about the modern classics. I don't like it when people start saying, oh, it's pretty scruffy though, your car's a bit of a wreck. Well, all right, in truth, yeah, this is. But it doesn't matter, because as long as you enjoy it, you're only buying it for you, you're not buying it for anyone else. Enjoy your car. Be proud of your car. That's what's important to me. If you like it, that's all that's important. If you like it, I like it. Whatever it represents to you, I'll celebrate it. And the fact is, as I've said, I'm really, really excited because of the XJ6. So that's a big thing for me, but it wouldn't matter if it was, I don't know, something that I wasn't into. Early Renaults, really not my thing. But if I see one out and somebody is enjoying it and it's an old car and it's on the road, mate, total respect. Nothing but respect from me for that, because you're loving it, you're keeping it on the road. Now we've got, you know, some damage on the arch, but it's the bonnet that's the worst. Look at the state of that. It looks to me like someone's jumped all over it in heels. Sadly, it's not caved in, but it's just dented absolutely everywhere. If you're a PDR guy and you want to do a practice, please come and have a go at the bonnet on this, because they've just destroyed it, sadly. We've got some paint come off on the bumper, which is no big deal, you know, it's plastic bumpers. That's fine. The mirrors are taped up. And yeah, you know, the lacquer's going on the wheels and all those types of things, right? It's nothing's that bad. But unfortunately, there is just damage all over the body of this thing. But look at the sills. There's no real rot. Well, there's no rot in the sills. Usual, unfortunately, XJ6 rust in the bottom corners of the C-pillars. But again, not that bad. The tow bar's not doing it for me, I'll be honest. Even with the chrome cap, I'm just going to throw it out there and say I don't like it. Personal taste and all that. But again, just walk round. I mean, look at the lines of this thing. If you can just ignore the damage, I think it's such a beautiful shape. I don't know, maybe this is like a bear attack or something? I don't know. One of my favourite angles for these cars is the way the bonnet kind of moulds into the headlights through there. You know, that design for me is just superb. I love it. Again, if it was an XJR, oh, I'd be all over it. But I already am, even at this. Let's get you inside. Let's start in the back. Because to be honest, in the back, the cream leather, albeit a little bit grubby, overall is not bad. You know, what an amazing place to sit. It's just superb. Unfortunately, the headlining is, well, it's button Draylon, but with drawing pin. It's drawing pin Draylon. Yeah, it happens. I really love these cute little roll top headrests as well. I like these cars. There's no getting away from it. There's just no getting away from it. I just think they're such fantastic craftsmanship and attention to detail, like those door panels. I'm not a fan of the wood in any car, but in here it just looks right. And the stitching on these armrests is fantastic. I mean, this in '94 was just such a luxurious car. And then at some point after that, it became a cheap car. And then it became owned by somebody who was greasy, unfortunately. And we've ended up with this. And look at the state of that, ground into those door panels. That's horrendous. But although I said I cleaned the steering wheel and then I stopped, I didn't quite stop, because I did have a little go here. And you know what? That wasn't much effort. It really wasn't bad at all. It comes up nicely, and that gives me hope. Yeah, as I say, that has been owned by somebody, I don't know, what, like an oil rig worker or something? Who is this filthy and gets in a car with this coloured trim and thinks it's acceptable? You disgusting armed cretin. That is nasty. But look at this. For a quick wipe over and a bit of leather care, that steering wheel has come up beautifully. I'm driving, I'm absolutely over the moon to be driving this. It's so silly. And as I said, it's not a lot of money's worth of car, but what a great feeling. This particular car was registered in February '95. It's quite an early X300, which is this shape XJ, the replacement for the XJ40, which this shape, this model was actually released at the Paris Motor Show, I believe, in October '94. So being a February '95 car, as I say, it is quite an early one. This is the 3.2 litre inline six with the AJ16 engine mounted to the 4-speed transmission. I think it's a ZF box. And it drives really nicely. Produces, I think, 216 brake horsepower when it was new and around about 230 foot-pound of torque. Should do around about 26 to the gallon combined, and this appears to be doing somewhere in the region of about 21, 22, but it's really only doing in-town driving. So I think maybe that's not too unrealistic, 26. It's not something you buy for fuel economy anyway, you know, an old inline six, 3.2 with a 4-speed auto box. This is a heart overhead purchase. If you want one of these, you're not buying it with your sensible head on, are you? We've had a bit of an afternoon of cleaning it. Let me put some stills up here. Look at the state of this interior. Who does that to a car? Any car. But look at it now. It's cleaned up beautifully. Well, I'm sat here surrounded by acres of what I believe is dove grey leather. I think it's dove. Initially I thought it was oatmeal, but as we cleaned it, it definitely looks more like a pale grey. So I'm going to go with dove. Again, I'm not that up on it. Please correct me. Definitely give us a comment. Tell me all about the car I'm actually in. And you know what? This is an easy car to drive. We're here, 50 mile an hour, rolling along in the countryside, it's absolutely superb. There's a little bit of a hum from that inline six. It's not loud, it's not obtrusive. Bit of road noise, nothing unexpected or untoward, and everything, almost everything, is very, very light to the touch and very easy to control. I say almost because the throttle is exactly like it is in my C43. You press it to the point where you think, something is broken, have I even got my foot on the pedal? It's just, that's a characteristic of these older cars. It's a proper cable throttle, it's not fly-by-wire, and it takes a bit of effort to push it. Once you get used to that, no problem. The visibility in this is absolutely excellent. The mirrors are good, they're a good size. Even though the glass is quite shallow, really, the visibility, so all round, no problem at all. Windscreen is enormous, width-wise, even though it's not very tall. And I love that the fact that this car still has the single wiper. There's just something really cool about single wipers, I feel. Something rattles up here when we go over the bumps. Are there sunglasses in the holder? Nope. Don't know. I was very excited to see the original Jaguar phone still part of this car. It's all there. I don't know if it works. It does power on, but actually now I'm driving with it, it rattles ever so slightly, which is kind of irritating because I think it looks really cool. Why am I making this video? Well, it's not necessarily about this car or the X300 Jaguar, because I don't know enough about them. I just really like them. I'm making this video for the people that are thinking, I really do fancy a bit of a classic car, and maybe I've got a couple of quid and fancy doing something different. That's why I'm making this video. Should you do it? Well, as I said just now, yes, absolutely, and no, not at all. Maybe it's not smart. Overruling for me is, yes, absolutely, you should be doing this. Because classics now are not like they were 20, 30 years ago, when, if you're looking at driving an old classic then, that car now will be 60 years old, and that technology is very, very old. Whereas the modern classic stuff, the modern classics now, they come with air conditioning, climate control, electric windows, power steering, decent brakes, good power. It's not cold, rattly, noisy. It's comfortable, relatively ordinary driving, but in something a bit different, something a little bit special. And this particular car, £1,350 is what Nigel's paid for it. Then you've got insurance, tax, bit of maintenance, quite a lot of cleaning products in this one. And I would say that if conservatively, you could probably run this for a year, you'd invest maybe £3,000, and at the end of it, it should still be worth the £1,500 you paid for it, thereabouts. Maybe even a little bit more. So actually, that's some quite cheap motoring. And it will get you out, and it will get you involved. Just do it. Like, if you've got a passion for it, go for it, try it. And because it would probably be a second car for you, it doesn't matter if it needs a bit of work or you need to save a bit of money to get something done. You should be okay with that. You carry on using your daily drive. Get yourself to some car meets, just local stuff, or just go out, enjoy it, drive to the pub on a Sunday lunch, have a nice bit of lunch out, nice cruise home, put it away again. Why not? There are options. You can do this. That's the reason I made this video. Is to say, actually, look at this. Look at what can be achieved for not a great deal of investment. And like I said, the bonus for me is that I get to roll around the countryside. I mean, look at this. In an old Jag. And this thing cruises effortlessly. 2,000 RPM, 40 mile an hour, just shifted into third, possibly fourth actually. No drama. Easy car to drive. I guess one criticism for it, having said how easy it is to drive and how great the visibility is, there are no parking aids as far as I know. There's no PDC, there's no rear view camera, there's none of that stuff. And can really only see as far back as the back of the rear doors. Can't see the boot lid at all from inside the car in the mirrors. Can't see the backs of the quarters in the mirrors. So parking this, and it is quite long, especially after the rear window, is something you have to get used to. Or you could fit some aftermarket parking sensors, right? Either way. Yeah. So that's one thing, but that's a small thing. And I will say this, because it is so smooth, so comfortable and so quiet in here, it's very easy to creep over the speed limit a little bit. Noticed that with the flashing 40 sign. I think that one was just a little bit too over enthusiastic though. We were definitely not doing more than 40, but we could have been if we weren't careful. Oh, 911, beautiful. That's the great thing about being out as the weather starts to warm up in these evenings, you know, nice weekends, lovely evenings. You've got all the classic cars start coming out of the woodwork, and you wonder to yourself, where are they all? Where have they all been all this time? Well, I do anyway. This thing rolls around the lanes beautifully. I mean, we're just cruising here at 50 mile an hour, and it's just doing it. It's doing everything you want it to do. And do you know the thing that I really like about it? The thing that I guess is one of... Is it the thing? I don't know. But it's an important thing to me. This, you know you're driving it. Okay? What this thing in front of us, whatever it is, some kind of Citroen DS thing, you don't need any kind of affinity with the machine to be able to drive that. You know, it's just going to be comfortably numb. You wouldn't have to have any skill to drive it, particularly, so for the very obvious. But, okay, that's fine if that's your thing. But when you're driving these, you know you're driving them. Does that make sense? There's a bit of feedback through the steering. You can feel some of the road surface underneath you, which is not a great thing. I mean, that's not a brag at the moment, is it, UK? But there's feedback. You know you're involved, even though this is automatic. And I'm not fully involved with it. But there's a weight to the throttle. The brake pedal's got a bit of travel in it, and it's not hugely over servoed, so you do have to put a bit of pressure on the pedal to make it stop. The steering's got a nice weight to it. Everything gives you some feedback, but it's not effort, is it? I mean, I'm not breaking a sweat here driving this. I'm just driving the car, but I'm feeling the car while I'm driving the car, and that's one of the things that I think is important. It's important to me. The other thing is, you look pretty cool driving one of these. Or anything that's out of the ordinary, you know? Like, how cool do you look in a, I don't know, MG ZS, or whatever those latest ones are? You don't, really, honestly. In fact, you don't look anything, because you look like everybody else. You just blend in. Whereas something like this, you'll get people that will, all right, they'll look maybe at the condition of this one, and they might have a little dig at it, okay. But a lot of people will see these and say things like, oh, I remember those. Yeah, because that's all you can do now. There aren't that many of them around. But when you stop at the petrol station, and you will, in one of these, and I will shortly go and pop some fuel in this before I give it back to Nigel, by way of a thank you. But when you're there and you're putting fuel in it, people will come up to you and they will say, I really like your car. Now, maybe they're being polite, maybe not. It doesn't matter. The fact is, if anybody will come and comment on it, I think that's a win, isn't it? Bit of nostalgia for somebody, perhaps made their afternoon. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Thank you once again for watching, really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you're not subscribed, that really does help me out and it spurs me on to do a bit more if you like this kind of thing. If you don't, also that's fine. Drop me some comments, please, on this car, because I do feel the XJs, the X300s, a lot of them are really rotten, a lot of them have been scrapped already and I think they need saving. So perhaps with the power of social media we can garner a bit more interest in these and perhaps get a few more of them back on the road. That would be really cool. That would be really good. If we can help out, let's do that. But yeah, so that's it. Tell me all about your XJ, or which modern classic you would have given the opportunity. And if there's anything you'd like to see me do, let me know that too. I'm quite lucky. I've got quite a good group of friends with a relatively eclectic mix. Or again, if you've got something that you think that you really like that you want me to do a little piece on, then again, I'd like to do that. I really would. I said I was going to end the video and then I talked too much more. Thank you very much. Take care. See you in the next one. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my drive. Damn you, Nige. I really want one now.